Hi guys, it's Miss Chalk here. This is my third time trying to record this video because of my dogs barking. So we're going to try it one more time. If they bark again, I'm just going to keep going. Okay, this is about direct variation. Direct variation. Here we go. What is direct variation? Well, it's the relationship between two variables. It's the relationship between x and y such that, let me share my screen here, such that y equals mx. Wait a second. You've seen that before. We've talked about m already. M is slope, right? Now we're going to put this together with something else, such that y equals mx. M is the rate of change. The rate of change, right? We've talked about that. It cannot equal 0. The variables x and y, they vary directly, which means if x increases, y increases. If x decreases, then y decreases. They have a direct variation, okay? Throwback Thursday. Okay, I know today's not Thursday. It's actually Sunday, but you could be watching this on a Thursday, so it could be a Throwback Thursday for you. Do you all remember learning about proportions, solving proportions? Well, let's do a Throwback Thursday here. That's when you did that whole butterfly thing. You would circle, cross multiply, circle those two. Remember, and it makes a cute little butterfly, right? Is this coming back? Are you guys going, oh yeah, I remember that? If not, let's start remembering it now. So you multiply, you cross multiply. So I end up with 16x equals 40, because 16 times x, 8 times 5. Then I divide by 16, x equals, and I have my handy dandy calculator, 40 divided by 16, 2.5. X equals 2.5. That's how we did proportions. Okay, well, when we're talking about direct variation, phrases that mean direct variation is varies directly and directly proportional. Directly proportional. Okay, so we're going to put that that rate of change that you guys have already been learning, slope, the rate of change, slope, and proportions, and we're going to put that stuff together. Okay, so here we go. Suppose y varies directly as x. If x equals 15 and y equals 12, find x when y is 21. Well, let's do that. Let's remember y goes over x. Y goes over rise over run. Rise over run. Okay? That equals, okay? They say if x equals 15, where does the x go? On the bottom. X goes on the bottom. So the 15 is on the bottom. And y is 12, so we're going to put that on top. Find x. Oh, they're telling us. Solve for x when y is 21. So let's erase the y and put a 21 there. Okay, now it's to our throwback. We're just going to do cross multiplying. So we have 12x equals, what's 21 times 15? Let's see. 21 times 15 is 315. 315. So then we're going to divide by 12. Divide by 12. X equals, using my handy dandy calculator, guys, 26.25. 26.25. There we go. We got it in there. Okay. Let's do another one, so you guys get the hang of this. Suppose y varies directly as x. So y varies directly as x. If y is 150 and x is 3, find y when x is 5. So let's set it up again. Y over x, rise over run. Okay? Varies directly if y, now where does the y go? It goes on top. 150. When x is 3, find y when x is 5. Oh, this time we're going to erase the x. When x is 5, and we're going to solve for y. Just doing our cross multiplying, our butterfly. Remember that? So we get 3y equals 5 times 150. I bet some of you could do that in your head if you know money really well. 750. And then we're going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. Y equals 250. Bam. There's our answer. Okay, it's not always this clean. Sometimes it's a little more tricky, but I'm going to show you some hints that can help you through this. Sometimes you might have a problem like this. The number of pencils sold varies directly as the cost. If 5 pencils cost 45 cents, find the cost of 7 pencils. Okay, let me show you a little secret here. The minute you see the words varies directly, what comes after it is the independent variable, the x, the independent variable. What comes before it is the dependent, okay? What we're saying is the cost is what determines the number of pencils. The cost determines the number of pencils. If the cost goes up, the number of pencils goes up. If the cost goes down, the number of pencils goes down, okay? So as long as you remember, the x is the cost in this one, and the y is the number of pencils. So let's set it up. Remember, we do our y over x, okay? If 5 pencils, there goes my dog again. We're going to get her to stop barking. If 5 pencils cost 45 cents, so what was the number of pencils? The y. So that's going to go on top. Cost 45 cents. That cost is the x. So that's going to go on bottom, 0.45. Find out the cost of 7 pencils. 7 is a number of pencils. See, 7, that's going to go with the y. It's going to go with the y. So when I erase it on here, I'm going to erase the y, and I'm going to put in 7. There we go. So now we're just cross multiplying. We're doing 5x equals, let's use our handy dandy calculator, 7 times 0.45, and I get 315. There we go. Divided by 5, divided by 5, x equals 0.63. So 7 pencils would be 63 cents. Okay, let's do another one. The bending of a beam varies directly, there's our key word, as its mass. A beam bends 20 millimeters by a mass of 40 kilograms. How much will the beam bend with a mass of 100 kilograms? Okay, so let's take a look at this. First, we look at that word, varies directly. What comes after the varies directly? That's our x, right? Doesn't want to let me write the x. I was going out of the frame. Hold on there. That's our x. And the bending of the beam, that's our y. Okay, so we're going to put our y over x, rise over run. That's our rate of change. That's our slope. Okay, equals, okay, let's look. A beam bends 20 millimeters. Bending goes with, right here, bending goes with y. So we're going to put the 20 on top. The mass goes with x. So we're going to put the 40 on the bottom. How much will the beam bend? So now we're going to look for y with a mass of 100. So we're going to erase the x, and we're going to put a 100 down here. There we go. I'm all set up. Here we go. 40y equals, I bet you guys could do this one in your head, 2, 0, and then 2 more zeros, right? 20 times 100. We put the 20 and add 2 more zeros. Now we're going to divide by 40. Divide by 40. Y equals, what does y equal? I'm going to put it in the calculator so I don't do it wrong. Divided by 40. 50. That's what I was thinking. 50. But then you need to put what goes with it. Okay? 50 millimeters because the bending goes up first. So 50 millimeters to kilograms. M to kg. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to give you a chance to try. Take out a piece of scratch paper right now. I'm going to set it up on mine. I'm going to do my y over x equals, and then I'm going to put in what I know. I know an x, and I know a y, and I know another x. I know another x. And then I'm going to do the proportions, which I know how to do. You should be doing this. Do my proportions. And then I'm going to solve my equation. And I have my answer. Did you get your answer? Let me show you what I got. Y equals 11. Take a look at that. I put my x on the bottom, my y on top, and then I had another x goes on the bottom. Then I just solved it. Did you get that answer? Okay, let's try another one. Remember, underline your varies directly. What varies directly? The days worked varies directly with the independent amount earned. Okay? So set up your y over x, and the man earns 805. Does the 805, where does it go? Where does that 805 go? Y'all know I'm going to be asking you for an answer on this, on the Ed puzzle, so you might as well be figuring it out. And then 7 is the days worked. How many days does he have to work to earn? So where did the money go? What part did the money go at? I'm putting mine in. Then do your cross multiplying. I'm going to use my calculator because these are big numbers. Okay, are you ready for your answer? So we're asking, how many days does he have to work to earn this much money? Let's see. 161 days. Did you guys get that same answer? That's what I got. Just to show you, the number of days varies directly as the amount. So what comes after the varies directly, that's your x. What comes before, that's your y, right? If a man earns 805, the amount earned goes on bottom. It's the x. For 7 days, the days is your y, goes on top. How many days does he have to work to earn 1840? So I put that right there. And then I put the days on top. That's what I'm solving. So I set up my equation, did my division, and there we go. Now, what if you have a problem like this? If y varies directly with x, and x equals 7, and y equals 28, How would you show this in an equation? Wait a second. They only gave us 2 numbers. What am I going to do? I need to have 3 numbers so I can solve something, right? Not really. Do you guys remember that y equals mx? That's the direct variation equation. So all they're asking you is to get it back to that. Get it back to the y equals mx. So let me show you what I mean. We remember that y goes over x. Remember that? And we're saying that x is 7 and that y is 28. Now, we don't have another number to replace in here, but you still do the same thing. You still do the same thing, but what we're going to do is get it back to the y equals mx equation. So we're going to cross multiply. 28x equals 7y. Now we need to get y alone because remember it was y equals mx. So we're going to divide by 7, divide by 7. So the answer here, I'm going to flip it around. Well, let me show you the answer first. 7 goes into 28 4 times. 4x equals y, or you can just put y equals 4x. So you can still leave it as two variables, but solve for y because that's what they mean by the equation. The equation for varies directly was y equals mx. Okay? Okay, I hope that helps you out. You can get more practice on the drinks, on the, not the drinks, the sides. The sides, you can get more practice.